Hey, it's Albert here, and today I'm going to teach you guys how to capture better audio for your videos starting today. So jumping straight into it, I like to refer to audio just like video. Reason being is it makes it easier for me to understand, so hopefully it makes it easier for you guys to understand. For all my cinematographers, videographers, and photographers out there, hopefully you guys already know that the idea that if you can shoot it as good as possible straight out of camera, then it makes your life a whole lot easier in the editing room. Reason being is that image or video that you captured needs a lot less TLC, takes a lot less time to do that TLC, and it makes the editing workflow a lot smoother and faster. Same thing goes for audio as well. So my number one tip or biggest tip for you guys is to capture that audio as good as possible straight out of camera or your audio device. So now I have 3 tips to help you with the bigger tip of capturing great audio. So first tip, for the bigger tip, is going to be taking out all unwanted sound. And this means any noise that you don't want to be capturing, you're going to take out. Anything that's feasible or within your power to eliminate, you're going to take it out. So for example, I'm recording inside my house right now. So what I'm going to do is make sure all my windows are closed. I don't want to hear any cars going by. I don't want to hear any dogs barking, neighbors yelling, whatever the case may be. I'm going to go ahead and eliminate those noises. I'm also inside, so I'm going to make sure my AC is turned off. I don't want to hear that low humming. Granted, there's software to take it out, but if it's not even there, you don't have to worry about taking it out. So any noise that you can possibly eliminate while you're recording, eliminate it, and it's going to help out a ton. Just like with your image for your photos or your video, it's not just about what's in it, but also what's not in it. If you're trying to take this nice photo or nice video clip and there's a ugly looking trash can, that clip is going to be a lot better if you take that trash can out. Same thing with audio. Audio is going to be a lot cleaner, a lot nicer and easier to work with if you take out all that unwanted noise. Tip number 2 is going to be getting the microphone as close to the subject as possible. The closer it is, the more cleaner the audio is going to be, the less it's going to have a chance to pick things up around it. So if you're using an internal microphone on the cameras, no. But if you get an external microphone that you can attach to your camera, with that one you want it as close as possible. So you're not going to be using a camera with a lens of a 70 to 200 and like zoomed in at 200 because you don't want the microphone 10 feet away. You're going to capture so much more excess noise that you don't want. So you're going to want a nice wide angle lens that you can have the camera as close as possible while having that microphone as close as possible as well. Another thing that you can use is lav mics. Those ones aren't always going to sound the greatest, and you're going to need a lot more TLC just because you're going to have clothing rubbing up against it, clothing dampening the sound, making it more muffled. So there's a lot more cleaning up you're going to have to do, but that you're going to get as close as possible, so it's going to be a lot nicer of a recording to work with. Another higher end that you can use is a boom mic. Boom mics are definitely going to be your best bet, but also the most expensive bet that you're going to have to put out there. But you can put it just right out of frame and have that clean recording right off the bat. I personally use an external audio recorder that I have attached like right next to the camera because the camera is maybe arm's length away from me. So I have it as close as possible out of frame and it's picking up my audio right now. So tip number 3 is going to be making sure you're staying in prime levels. Now, what are prime levels? Making sure you're recording between -20 and -12 dB. So going back to the example of using video and images, you're going to be watching your histogram whenever you're shooting something. When you watch that histogram, you're going to make sure you're not overexposed, because if you're overexposed, you're going to be washed out, lose all that data. Same thing with audio. You don't want to go too hot on the recording because you're going to start clipping and lose that audio data. You'll rather go on a video or image underexposed just a little bit because it's easier to save that data that's underexposed and bring it up just a bit. Same thing with audio, but beware. If you go too far low, just like in your images, and you boost it a lot, you're gonna get a lot of artifacts in your images and a lot of noise that you don't want. Same thing with your audio, you're gonna get a lot of excess noise that you're trying to not have, and you're gonna hear less of your subject's noise. But you also need to watch out, there's gonna be times that just like in an image, you can't have everything fully evenly exposed across a histogram. There's gonna be some things that are like randomly spiking in the highlight section. Same thing goes with audio, but you wanna make sure you can control that spiking or peaking. Peaking is whenever there's a monotone talking and all of a sudden it gets real loud and then goes real quiet. that peak when it rises, you don't want that going any higher than -6, because then that still gives you enough leeway and cushion space so you're not clipping, but enough to have that point where it's nice and loud and it's shown accordingly within the audio files. So once again, stay within your prime levels, which is -20 and -12 dB, and any peaks that you have going on within your audio file, make sure those stay below -6. So those are the 3 tips for the main tip of capturing better audio right after this video, right once you're done watching this. But disclaimer, this isn't the only tip that's out there. There's plenty of other tips that I'm going to be teaching and showing, but this is, like I said, in my honest opinion, the best foundation starting point. If you capture great audio right off the bat, straight from the recording, then it's going to be a lot easier when you go into the editing software and do your TLC to your audio files and everything else. So grabbing it right off the bat as good as possible is going to make your life so much easier. So hope you guys like this video. I hope this helps out. Give me a thumbs up if it does, comment if it doesn't, comment if it does, and comment how it has. If you have any more questions, let me know. Subscribe if you're not already, and I'll catch you guys on the next one. Peace.